Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we have a Port Charlotte on the cask. The name Port Charlotte comes from a town on the Isle of Islay. It's on the west side of Islay, and it's on the coast of Loch Indal, which is a part of the sea that goes into the Isle of Islay. And it's a beautiful small town with a really, really good restaurant. And the Bruichladdich distillery that is just located north of Port Charlotte in the town of Bruichladdich produce this whiskey and actually store their whiskey inside the town of Port Charlotte. And what they do is they have different brands: Bruichladdich, Port Charlotte, and Octomore. And the Port Charlotte is the heavily peated, not the super heavily peated. That's the Octomore, but the heavily peated. It's 40 ppm, so 40 parts per million. And this one is the 2012 edition. It's 6 years old. I'm not quite sure if they write it on the bottle. But they get their barley from 8 different farms on the Isle of Islay, and it has been matured in ex-bourbon cask, first fill ex-bourbon casks, and that is 3/4 of the whiskey, and then you have 1/4 matured in refill wine casks. It's a strong one. It's 50% ABV, so it's not quite cask strength, but it's a high strength whiskey. The problem that you have with cask strength whiskey is that you always have a different ABV, and you always have to do different calculations with taxes and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. So if you have 50% ABV, it's much more easier for you to produce a whiskey and sell it worldwide. Let's have a look. It's a really interesting looking bottle. It looks a bit like a gin bottle, but I do love the back side here, which has these latches that are made of glass, so they're inside the glass. Looks really awesome, and it's a beautiful bottle. And I already find the smell in the air that is a lovely peat smell, combined with a bit of a freshness, mintiness, and a lot of fruitiness. It's strange that you can combine the smoke so good with these different fruit flavors. Pears, apples, they're really intense, and the peat smoke is like medium intense. So it's hard to tell what is the strongest flavor in here. Same in the flavor. It's a beautiful smoky, fruity, sweet whiskey that ends up a bit oaky. I love it. There's also a hint of honey in there, and then the aftertaste, it gets more in the oaky and the deeper and darker notes. So one of these typical flavor journey whiskeys that start off pretty sweet, fruity, and then end up with the deeper, darker flavors that come from the maturation. And it's a bit of a complex one. There's a bit of a hint of chocolate in there, but one of these chocolates with a lot of candied or dried fruit in them. So it's complex, but it's a complex fruity one. The beauty about that is that it's the Islay product. It's a product from a small island at the coast of Scotland. And yeah, it comes 100% from there. The water, the barley, maybe the yeast they get imported. But the rest, it's all been done, grown and mashed, fermented and distilled and matured on the Isle of Islay. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and if you like this video then please feel free to tell your friends, and see you next time.